Hare Krishna and welcome all of you all on this ninth part of Ram Katha. So as usual, let's start our Charan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunvitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yukta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna. So let's read the Mangalacharan for Ramayana. For Valmiki ji. Kunjantam Ram Rameti Maduram Maduraksharam Arohya Kavita Shakham Vande Valmiki Kokilam Valmiki Muni Simhasaya Kavita Vanacharinaha Shunvan Ram Katanadam Ko Nayati Param Gatim Yapiban Satatam Ramam Charitamrita Sagaram Atritipstam Munim Vande Pracheta Kalmasham. For Hanumanji. Goshpadi Kurutavarisam Masaki Kuruta Rakshasam Ramayana Mahamalam Ratnam Vande Anilatmajam Anjananandaviram Janaki Shokanasanam Kapis Aksahantaram Vande Lanka Bhayankaram Manojavam Mardutulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatatmam Varishtam Vatatmajam Vanar Yuddha Mukyam Shri Ramadutam Sirsam Namami. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we go for a brief recap of what we had discussed in the last class. We had discussed about Ramchandraji searching for Sita Maiya and finally coming and meeting Sugriv, and then Vali being killed, and Vali then sending the 4 teams in 4 directions, and the south team was headed by the entire set of veterans like Hanuman, Jamvan, Angad was the leader, Neel, Dvida and many others. So finally, when the team going towards the south crossed the Vindhyachal ranges, they came to a section where there was no food or water. The entire land was bereft of even leaves, what to talk about fruits. And that was because of a curse received by one Rishi who died at a very early age. And Kandu Rishi had cursed that place that it will be bereft of, it will be inhabitable for any living entity. So the entire place was totally barren, and the monkeys all were dying out of thirst and out of hunger. Finally, going ahead, they found a cave in front of them. Few monkeys decided that they would enter this cave. The other monkeys said, no, already we are without water and food. Might be if we go inside the cave, we will die without air also. On that, the senior monkeys said, as it is, you are all going to die because we are not having any food or water. Why don't we go inside and take a trial? On that, Hanuman, Angad, Jamvan, Vali, Neel, all these people proceeded ahead into the cave. Finally, the other monkeys also decided to join them. So each monkey was holding the other monkey's tail because it was pitch dark inside and they could not see anything at all. In between, Jamban used to shout each and every monkey's name to check if everything was okay. Finally, after moving for a long time, the cave was supposed to be 8 miles long, and finally they saw a small ray of light, and they could see some birds coming out and some droplets of water falling on them. They came to sure that yes, there is a hope at the end of this cave. Finally, when they came out to the light, towards the direction of the light, and they came out of the cave, they saw an ascetic woman, a lady who was dressed up like an ascetic, like a sadhu. So Hanuman went and asked, "Who are you?" She said, "I am Swayam Prabha, daughter of Mount Meru, friend of Hema." Actually, this was a cave created by Maidanav, and he was later driven away by Indra, and Brahma had given this cave to Hema, and she was looking after her. Suddenly, the Swayamprabha asked, "Who are you all? No ordinary person or monkey can enter this cave. This is a very mystical place." On that, Jamban quietly replied, murmured to himself. He said, "Yes, they are all divine celestial beings, taking in the form of monkeys." When other monkeys asked him, "What are you asking?" He said, "Nothing, I am an old man, just saying something." Then the Hanumanji asked, "We are hungry and we are thirsty, we have not had food and water for a long time. Can we get some food and water?" She said, "Yes, this place is so beautiful, full of ponds, lakes, gardens, everything is there. Go and take whatever you want. Feed yourself to your fullest stomach." So all the monkeys ate a lot of fruits and drank a lot of nectarian water. Finally, when everything was over, Hanuman said, we would all like to go in search of Sita Maiya." On that, the lady said, "You cannot go like that." On that, Hanuman said, How, what a lady you are. You don't seem to be like a mendicant. You only dressed up like a mendicant. You fed us such nice food and nectarian drinks, and now you are saying you cannot leave this place." She said, "Yes, I told you cannot leave, but not by your own accord. By my mystic powers only you can go out of this place. So all of you all close your eyes." So they all closed their eyes, and the lady with her mystic power sent them out of this cave. When they opened their eyes, they saw that they were near the seashore. The hopes which had built up in their heart had gone down. Now they didn't have a goal where to go and where to search for Sita Maiya. Finally, Angad decided, I cannot go back, I can't go ahead, I don't know where to search for Sita Maiya. If I go back, it is going to be shameful for me. I better rather give up my life here. So he took some kusha grass and facing north sat down on the kusha grass. He said, "From now I am not going to eat any food or water, and I will sit here." When Angad said this, few monkeys agreed with him and sat down. Hanuman was wondering, how do I explain this to Angad? Then Hanuman used his intelligence. It is generally said there are 3 ways of explaining a thing to a person. First, it is Sama, second is Bhed, and third is Danda. Sama means to explain to someone or to make someone realize. If he doesn't realize, then you create some rift in his mind, in his thinking, so that he accepts it. And last is Danda, that is by force. So first, Hanuman told Angad that this decision is not wise. What will happen if you are going to be staying here? Might be you can go to Sugriv and explain to him that we tried our level best, but we could not find Sita. On that, Angad said, I know my uncle is anyhow waiting for a chance to kill me. He killed my father anyway, and he will tell that since I gave you a mission and you did not accomplish it, I am going to kill you, and he will kill me. So anyhow, instead of dying in his hands, it is better I fast here and die. On that, Hanuman used the second intelligent way, the Bheda. He told him, yes, you know Angad, what will be the repercussions for this? Once you die here, your uncle will throw your mother out on the road and she will be in the streets begging for food. You want your mother to undergo this problem? On hearing this, immediately Angad got up and said, no, I don't want my mother to suffer like that. He said, so let's think of some way by which we can get Sita Maiya. But Angad was so depressed that Hanuman knew that I will have to make him agitated and strong. So, to revive him out of the depression and sadness, he started telling Ram Katha. So, it is to be understood that whenever one is in some form of mental trouble or mentally disturbed, the best way is to listen to either Ram Katha or Mahabharata. Because Shastra is the best way to revive the soul or the mind which has fallen dull. In this way, Hanuman started talking about the entire Ram Leela and how Ramchandraji and Sita Maiya were removed out of the kingdom and were sent to exile. And they started saying, this Kaikeyi will be the cause of death for many people. She already removed Ramchandraji from the kingdom. Then, because of Kaikeyi, Ramchandraji having come to the forest, he was moving around the forest, and Jatayu tried to help him, and Jatayu also got killed. Now it is going to be our turn. If we are not able to find Sita Maiya, we will have to fast to death, and anyhow we are also going to die. So Kaikeyi is going to get the sin of not only sending Ramchandraji out of the country, but also the sin of death of Jatayu as well as our death also. Hearing the word of Jatayu, nearby a huge bird, a mammoth bird, slowly started crawling. And the first sight, the entire monkey army said that there must be some big Rakshasa or a demon who is trying to kill them. But on deep inspection, they came to know that it was a huge bird. Hanuman said, look at this bird. His one wing is more than 150 yojans long. He is a really huge bird. But the bird was very blackish, as if charred down. And he was not able to move. He was crawling. He was none other than Sampati, the elder brother of Jatayu. Sampati, when heard the name of Jatayu, started inquiring, I heard you speak about my brother's name. How did my brother die? What was the cause of my brother's death? Please tell me in detail. And then Hanuman and other monkeys in detail gave the entire report of how Ramchandraji had to go so much of suffering during the exile, and how Ravan had kidnapped Sita, and now that they were searching for Sita Maiya. When Sampati heard of the whole thing, he said, yes, I know, I have heard of Ravan, I have seen Ravan take away this lady, but I didn't know she was Sita. I had seen Ravan taking a lady from this route. On this, they asked Sampati, how come your wings are all burnt? What is the reason why you are in such a bad state? On that, Sampati told, myself and my brother Jatayu were very great, powerful birds. Once we both decided to go and touch the sun and come back. When we started soaring higher and higher, and we reached very close to the sun, I could see the sun was burning my brother's wings. So to help him, I covered his Jatayu by spreading my wings on him. Somehow Jatayu was saved, but my wings were all burnt. And after my wings were burnt, I fell down at this place. And from that time, I have been lying in this place. I had no idea where Jatayu was. After regaining consciousness, I started searching here and there, but hardly could I move. Of course, a sage over here nearby, he told me that I am giving you a benediction. The day you will be able to tell the know-how of Sita and Ravan to the service of Lord Ramchandraji and his messengers, you will get back your wings. And I know this Ravan for a long time. Once Ravan came to fight with me. He was carrying the wife of Kuber, Nalakuber, and I caught him. I said, this is not right. On this, Ravan tried to attack me, and I caught him with my claws. It is said Ravan has got many wounds which he received during various fights. Out of that, there were 5 holes in his body, which Ravan used to always cover. These 5 holes were created by Sampati's claws. Finally, Ravan surrendered, and he signed a pact with Sampati, saying that I shall not enter your territory, you will not enter my territory. Ravan is famous for doing this. Earlier, even with Vali, he had the same pact. When Ramchandraji came to, when Hanumanji came to know all this, he asked, Sita Maiya, can you please, Sampati, can you please tell me how and where can we find Sita Maiya? Sampati said, please push me on to the top of this mountain. I cannot climb, but I am a vulture. I have got a very strong eyesight. I can see far off and I can tell you what and where she is. Immediately, the monkeys with renewed energy somehow pushed the vulture on the top of the mountain. When the vulture reached there, Sampati reached there, with his powerful eyes, he was seeing at long distance, and there she could see, Sampati could see Ravan's multi-storied building on which Ravan was moving to and fro. He saw in the building, he could not see Sita Maiya. However, near the palace, he could see a small garden, Ashok Vatika, where Sita Maiya was sitting under a tree. Hearing this entire report, the entire monkey army was very happy. And here, as soon as Sampati told the review of how Sita Maiya was sitting in Ashok Vatika, new wings started sprouting. And immediately, within a few seconds, Sampati got a new wing, complete new wing, and started flying. Thus, rendering his service to Lord Ramchandraji and his Dutas, Sampati went off. Now, the entire monkey army started thinking, who could go across the sea 100 yojans away and find out how Sita Maiya was and carry the message given by Lord Ramchandraji. On that, each one the heroic monkeys said, I can jump 40 yojans. Someone said 50 and someone said 60. Jamban said, I can jump up to 80. When I was young, I would have jumped much more than what you can imagine. But now I am old, I can't jump more than 80 yojans. On that, finally, Angad said, I can jump 100 yojans. That is not a problem. Somehow I will reach, but I don't know whether I will be able to come back. On that, Jamban advised him, no, please do not take this risk. You are the leader of our entire group, and if anything happens to the leader, what will happen to the entire group? So it is not advisable. When all this discussion was going on, Hanuman was standing a little far off and thinking, wondering, what can he do? How could he serve? On that, Jamban went near Hanuman and he said, Hanuman, listen to this. I will explain to you some things which you have forgotten. Here it will be interesting to know about the birth of Hanuman. Hanuman's birth was related to 2 points which we generally heard of and talked about. We say Hanuman is Shivansh and we know Hanuman is Vayuputra. So let's understand how Hanuman got these 2 names. It once so happened that on Kailash Parvat, Shiva and Parvati were in an enjoyable mood. Somehow, Parvati Mata said, seeing some monkeys having some nice pastimes around, decided that she would also take a form of a monkey and do some fun. On that, Shiva also took a form of monkey. And in that playful situation, a conception was given by Shiva. Immediately Parvati took her back her form, her divine form, and she said, no, I will not take this conception. As it is, I am having one child with a lion head, with an elephant head. I don't want another child like a monkey. Shiva said, anyhow, I have given the conception, what can I do? She said, she was adamant on not taking it back. Finally, Shiva called Vayu and said, this is my conception, please take care of it. And at the right time, put it at the right deserving person. Give it to the right deserving person. Vayudev took the conception and by the advice of the Saptarishis went on the beginning of Mandakini river where there are trees with leaves of metal. And on those leaves, this conception was kept. It was the duty of Vayudevata to take care of this conception. Here, Brihaspati was doing his daily routine puja, and one day he told his maidservant, who is to regularly do all the seva and help him in doing the yajna and the day-to-day ritual activities. He told the maidservant, please go and get some flowers. So she went to get some flowers in the forest, and here the Muni was preparing for the rituals. Here in the forest, the maidservant saw some Gandharvas in a nice romantic mood. Somehow her mind got spoilt. The minute she came back to the ashram, she jumped upon the rishi and started kissing him. The sage got very agitated. He said, what is this? How are you behaving like a monkey? You jumped on me like a monkey, behaving like a monkey. May you become a monkey. Thus saying, the lady fell down and she realized her mistake. She said, what have I done? I didn't want to do it. Somehow I got carried away by seeing those Gandharvas in that mood. The sage said, anyhow, I have already cursed you. But let me go into my mystic thoughts and see what is the reason of giving this curse. In a few minutes, the sage could see that yes, there was a reason behind this curse. He told her, go to Kishkinda mountains and get married to Kesari. When you will deliver a child, you will be free from this curse. Hearing this, the lady who now became a monkey, and her name was now Anjana, came to Kishkinda mountains and somehow married the king of the monkeys over there, Kesari. However, after a long time after the marriage, they did not have a child. So Kesari decided to go and do some prayers and penance in the forest. So he went to forest and started praying or doing penance to Indra Devata. Here, Vayu Devata thought it to be the right occasion. So he took the conception from the place where he had kept it and put it inside Anjana. Anjana asked, she could feel something going wrong, and she asked, who is it? Who is holding me? Come on, come and tell me, or else I will curse you. On that, Vayu Devata came in front and told that this conception is of Shiva, and if you take this conception, you will be freed from this curse. So finally Anjana accepted it, and thus Hanuman was born. Hanuman was not an ordinary personality, being the conception of Shiva, getting the name of Shivansh, getting the name of Anjanaputra, getting the name of Vayuputra. He was an extraordinary personality. Once he asked his mother, I am very hungry, give me something to eat. His mother said, take any fruit and eat. He said, how do I understand it's the right fruit? He said, you should know how a ripened fruit should be. It should be golden in color, reddish in color, then it is ready to eat. Hanuman, on hearing this, looked on all directions and finally saw the sun, who was also looking goldenish red, and he decided that he is going to have that as a fruit. So he leapt towards the sun god. When he was going towards the sun planet, Indra and all other people were having a meeting in the heavenly planets. Hanuman went close to the sun, made it a little small and put it in his mouth. Following the sun was Rahu, waiting to eat the sun. He said, wait, I am supposed to eat the sun, not you. On that, Hanuman took Rahu and put him also in his mouth. Here, when this meeting was going on the heavenly planet, everything became dark suddenly. The only candlelight there was Agni Devata, who was giving some little radiant light. They all started wondering what is wrong. Indra immediately went out on his Airavat, and seeing Hanuman, threw his Vajra on him. When the Vajra came and hit Hanuman, it didn't make any major damage on him, but his left side lower jaw was slightly broken. That's why he got the name Hanuman. Hanu means jaw. Hanuman means one with a defective jaw. On getting this thunderbolt, Indra was shocked to see Hanuman holding it in between his teeth like a toothpick. He understood it's not an ordinary living entity, so he ran away from there. But here, on hit by the Vajra of Indra, even Vayu Devata became angry, and Hanuman and Vayu Devata were both angry on every Devata. Now with the sun missing and Vayu also down, all the Devatas went to Brahma, and Brahma said, I know the entire episode. Come, we will all go to Hanuman and give him some benedictions by which he will give us the sun back. So Hanuman and all the demigods came to Brahma and all the demigods came to Hanuman, and they requested Hanuman, please give the sun back. We will give you various benedictions. Indra said, what more do you want? As it is, you could hold my Vajra between your teeth. Still, I give you a long life. Agni said, nowhere fire will burn you anywhere in your body. Vayu Devata said, you can fly at the speed of mind. So every Devata gave him n number of benedictions. Finally, Hanuman released the sun god as well as Rahu. So mischievous from childhood, Once it so happened that Hanuman was sitting in his house, and for the past long 2-3 days, Kesari was shocked to see his son not doing any mischief. One day, they could see Narad Muni moving outside their house. So Hanuman immediately went outside and paid obeisances to him and requested Naradji to bless him. Narad Muni said, "Yes, you are already blessed with so many benedictions. What benedictions do you want more?" On that, Hanuman said, "Yes, I have many benedictions, but I want one benediction which only you can give me. You are one of the best musicians in the world. I want you to bless me in such a way that I become a very good musician." Narad Muni immediately blessed him. Hanuman immediately said, "Now that you have blessed me, you cannot go. You have to listen to my music. You have to certify that how good my music is now." So Narad Muni said, "Okay, I will listen to your music." Slowly, Hanuman sat on a rock, and Narad Muni sat on a rock opposite to him. Narad Muni kept the veena down on a stone, and Hanuman started singing. Hanuman chose a tune or a rag in such a way that would melt anything, even stones. So the stone on which the veena was kept got melted, and the veena started floating on the liquid stone. After some time, Narad Muni opened his eyes and said, "Enough, Hanuman, you have sung very nicely." Hanuman said, "Are you sure I should stop?" Yes, you can stop." Hanuman stopped singing. On that, the stone which had liquefied had solidified again, but this time the veena was stuck inside the stone. Narad Muni was trying to pull out his veena, but it was now stuck inside the stone. So he told Hanuman, "Hey Hanuman, what have you done? What raga did you sing that the stone melted and my veena got stuck?" Immediately Hanuman got up and started running towards his house, and Narad Muni following Hanuman. Narad Muni was shouting at Hanuman, "Please give back my veena." He said, "Please come to our house." And he started running, and Narad Muni was following him. Kesari saw this and asked Narad Muni, "What did Hanuman do?" On that, Narad Muni said, "Nothing big, but he has made my veena stuck in the stone." And Narad Muni was following Hanuman in all the rooms. Kesari asked Hanuman, "Why did you do this mischief?" He said, "I didn't do this mischief for anything. I wanted Hanuman, I wanted Narad Muni to keep his feet on each and every room of our house. It is said, whenever a Mahabhagavat like Narad Muni keeps his leg, or a Vaishnava keeps his leg on anyone's house, the house is blessed. And in this way, I wanted Narad Muni to bless my house." Thus saying, Hanuman went out and again sang the raga by which the veena got dislodged from the stone. So, with the so many benedictions received from the various demigods, Hanuman was very, very mischievous. He was making lot of fun of all the Rishi Munis in the garden. Finally, one day, he caught one elephant and one tiger and tied their tails and kept them outside the house of a rishi. The rishi in the morning came out, opened the door, and when he saw the tiger and elephant, he shut the door and went inside. As it was morning time, the rishi wanted to go to toilet, but was not unable to go because the lion and the elephant and tiger was outside his house. After much thinking, the rishi jumped out of the window from the backside and started going out. On the way, he saw Hanuman sitting on the tree and enjoying the fun. He got very angry. He immediately said, "Hey Hanuman, because of your powers, you are trying to make trouble and mischief with us. May you forget all your powers. And you will be able to remember your powers only when required, and when a person will make you remember all your powers. Thus saying, the sage went off. That is the reason Hanuman had forgotten all his powers. And Jamvan was trying to revive that. Here's a very interesting story of how Jamvan got birth or took birth. Once it so happened that on Shirodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, one Vishnu, 2 drops of perspiration came from his ears, and from those 2 drops of perspiration, 2 asuras took form. One was named as Madhu and second was Kaitaba. Madhu and Kaitaba were Rakshas from the minute they were born. And what is the way you identify Rakshasas? The minute they were born, they wanted to fight with Vishnu. And every asura can be identified easily with this quality. They will be against God, they will not be pro-God. Vishnu said, okay, I am ready to fight with you. On that, they said, where is the condition? The condition is, you cannot kill us in any place where there is earth, water, fire, ether, mind, intelligence and false ego. These 8 elements, 5 Gauras and 3 subtle elements are there. There you cannot kill us. Lord also agreed. And finally, Lord and the 2 asuras had a big fight. Seeing this, Brahmaji got tensed up. Brahmaji was much afraid of the entire situation, and he started perspiring from all his 4 heads. Finally, from the perspiration, when he touched his cheek, he found some creature-like thing, small insect-like thing on his cheek. He just removed it and put it down, and he saw it was a small bear. This is how Jamvan's birth took place. So the small bear asked, Brahma, you are the creator, tell me, where do I go? Since no creation had been yet made, immediately Brahma told the small bear, to go near Vishnu. And there Jamvan started seeing how Vishnu was fighting with the 2 asuras. He used to shout, come on, very nice, throw him, punch him, very nice, and started jumping. So finally, after a long fight, when Lord got bored, he took Madhu and Kaitaba on his lap and crushed them. As per the condition, it was the only place where there was no earth, water, fire, air, ether or any other elements, because Lord is Satchitanand. So he was kept over there and he was killed. Finally, Jamvan started talking to Lord. Lord, it was a fantastic experience. I was very much happy and I was very much entertained. I would like to see some more fights. So Lord says, don't worry, the creation is going to start. So you will be able to see all my incarnations. So in fact, Jamvan was the audience for Lord's activities. Jamvan saw Lord in the form of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, then in the form of Matsya Avatar, then in the form of Narsingadev. Why? In the form of Vamanadev. When Vamanadev lifted his leg to cover the entire world with his two legs, expanded legs, Vamanadev circumlated him 21 times in just a few minutes. So you can understand how fast and how powerful Jamvan was. In one of the time when he was coming out of the 21 circumambulation, once his nail touched Mount Meru. So Mount Meru asked him, how come, how dare do you touch your foot on me? Even the Saptarishis float on me, they don't walk. And how dare do you touch your nail on me? I curse you, you may become old. From that moment, Jamvan became old. But he was an audience to Lord's all Leelas. In fact, Jamvan has been with Ramchandraji's Leela n number of times. Here it is very interesting to note the birth of Vali and Sugriva also. It's once said that there was a Brahmana named Ugra Tapasa. His name was Ugra Tapasa, but he never did any tapasya. He was a very bad person by nature. All he wanted was to satisfy his senses. He was in such a state that he was diseased and paralyzed. But still in that state, he would ask his wife to take him to some prostitute or the other. His wife, Narayani, was very, very devoted. She was a chaste wife, and whatever her husband asked, Ugra Tapasa asked, she would try to fulfill. One day, he told his wife, take me to a specific prostitute. I want to enjoy with her today. So she put him in a basket and was carrying him. On the way, a rishi who could have Trikala Darshan saw this Ugra Tapasa being carried in a basket by his wife, and by his mystic powers, he came to know that he was going to do sense gratification with a prostitute. He immediately cursed him. Hey Ugra Tapasa, your name is Ugra Tapasa, but you don't do any tapasya. May you die tomorrow morning as soon as the sun rises. On that, hearing this curse, his wife Narayani immediately said, if that is the case, tomorrow morning the sun will not rise. This is my power of chastity. So immediately the sun became static. Here the charioteer of Surya's Rath, Aruna, was wondering, what has happened? Why has my master gone static? Everything was in a hold. Taking this as a right opportunity, because very few times, seldom do they get a chance of break or a holiday. He said, let me take a break. Let me enjoy. Let me go for an enjoyment. And sorry to say, even we humans are also waiting for a break. And for us, a break means sense gratification means a break. So same way, immediately Aruna decided that he is going to go for a break. He came out of the chariot and was looking what type of enjoyment could he have. Suddenly, he came to know that Indra has arranged for a grand party for only selected people. Indra was also a person who was always involved in sense gratification. So he had arranged a nice dance party. Somehow, Arun now decided that he will enter the party. So he took a female form of Aruni and went to the party. The gatekeeper stopped him. On that he said, Aruni said, I am the hairdresser or makeup artist of Menaka, and Menaka will not dress up with any other person, and I have forgotten to put some makeup touch-ups. So let me in, I have to complete the makeup. The gatekeeper left Aruni inside. Inside, the party was going on. All ladies were there. At that time, Indra was busy looking at which female would he get some pleasure with. When he saw Aruni, he was very much excited and attracted towards her. He called off the party and said, everyone go home. When Aruni started moving out, he said, hey, beautiful lady, where are you going? Aruni said, I am the makeup artist of Menaka. Now that this party is called off, I am going back. I said, no, I am going to enjoy with you. And finally, he enjoyed with Aruni. And finally, a conception was born. Slowly, time was flying by. And Aruni could see that the sun was slowly getting back its movements. Immediately, he left the place and went towards the sun god's chariot. On sitting in the chariot, sun god asked, where were you where had you gone? He said, I had just gone for some fun. Then he told all the details. That time sun god said, let me see your form as a form of Aruni, as a female form. I would love to see. He said, no, already there has been enough trouble because of that form. I don't want to show that form again. And as it is, time is getting over. He said, no, you are my servant. You will have to show me. And we have got a few minutes more left. On that, Aruna again took the form of Aruni, and immediately a second conception was born. Children are not allowed in heavenly planets. Immediately, Brahma intervened and he said, it is your problem created by you, Indra. Now you solve the problem. Children are not allowed in heavenly planets. Get rid of it. Immediately, Indra was wondering what could he do. Here down, Rishik Raj was doing tapasya to have nice children. So Indra came and gave these two children to Rishik Raj. So the child born through Indra was none other than Vali, and the born through sun was sun god was Sugriv. Finally, there was a big thing generally said in the Vedas. Whoever reads this story or hears this will not get any attraction towards demigod worship. Finally, here Hanuman told his father, I want to get some knowledge. His father said, where do you think you will get knowledge? Who will give you knowledge? No, I want to get knowledge from sun god. He said, okay, sun god is the right person to give you knowledge. Go and approach sun god. So he went towards the sun god. Seeing him approach, sun god was also a little afraid whether he is coming to devour him again. But then he came in front of sun god, paid his obeisances, and Hanuman said, I want to gain some knowledge from you. Sun god said, look, there is a classroom right in front of my chariot, but see if there is any place for you, then you can go and sit. Hanuman saw, but there was no place for him. The place was full with so many rishis. So immediately Hanuman said, no problem, I will stand and learn from you. Sun god said, how can you stand? You will have to keep moving. If you stand, I will have to stop also. And if I stop, all the seasons will stop. So you will have to keep moving. You will have to be facing me, moving backwards. Then I can teach you. Hanuman said, no problem. You can go on giving me the knowledge. I will stand, I will be walking backwards, facing you, and I will take the knowledge. So in 60 orbits, Hanuman took the entire knowledge from Surya Devata. Finally, when the education was over, Surya Devata said, now your education is over, now you can go, but before you go, you will have to give me a Guru Dakshina. Hanuman immediately said, what do you want? You want Indra's crown? What do you want? Tell me, I will get it for you immediately. On that, Surya Devata said, I don't want anything of that sort, but I have a monkey friend down on this earth. You will have to take care of him, be his minister and protect him. Hanuman was very happy hearing his monkey friend. So he said, surely I will help him. This was none other than Sugriv, and Surya Devata wanted Sugriv to be protected. That is why he requested this requested Hanuman to protect him. So from this we come to know the story of Hanuman and Sugriv and Vali also, the birth of all the three people. In fact, some people may be wondering why Vali could not help Ramchandra ji to kill Ravan, and why Ramchandra ji had to take the help of Sugriv. It so happened that once Vali was doing his Gayatri. At that time, Ravan tried to come and catch him. Vali had a boon that any enemy who comes in front of him, he will get 50% of his strength to himself. So Ravan, knowing this, came from the back and tried to catch him. But Vali just tucked him under his armpit and started jumping from the four corners of the country. Daily he would go on the four ends to do Gayatri, and he took Ravan on his armpit. On such a situation, Ravan was in a horrible condition and pain. He realized Vali is not conquerable, so he immediately surrendered. As I told you earlier, he had surrendered in front of Sampati also. So he surrendered in front of Vali also. And he told Vali, let's sign a pact. I will not attack you, you will not attack me. That is the reason why Ramchandra ji had to take the help of Sugriv, and Vali could not be of any use to Lord Ramchandra ji's project. So with this, we will end today's session, and next session we will be entering into Sundarakand, which is one of the very nice stories of Hanumanji's great deeds and activities we can see in that. Hare Krishna.